All right, Shalom Israel. I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Makakwadash, the Bawanas of the Apostles and the Elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to Lek out there doing his work of faith, labor of love, and true sincerity. All right, and I pretty much wanted to get into a quick topic, just concerning what always separated us, from the other nations, what made us so great, what allowed us to be, completely separate and that the whole world knew it. Just like in today's time, what separates us from the other nations, well, accordingly as it is now, the most of our people don't believe themselves to be Israelites. They believe themselves to be Africans and things like that. But one thing that always stands out in today's time, is the so-called culture of Jake, if you will, the music, the style, the way we dress, and our athleticism, our athleticism. Like how you say, white man can't jump, so on and so forth. Our athleticism and things like that, that's something that stands out amongst us. Just as back then, what was something that stood out? And here we go. This is the book of Esther 3 and 8. And it says, "And Haman said unto King Ahasuerus, There is a certain people scattered abroad and dispersed among the people in all the provinces of thy kingdom, and their laws are diverse from all people, neither keep they the king's laws. Therefore, it is not for the king's profit to suffer them." So, the laws, statutes, and commandments is something that always kept us separate from the other nations. Something that always kept us separate from the other nations. That was the distinguishing characteristics about us. And that's what made us well known in the west coast of Africa, because we kept separate from the other nations. Even though, we had the same tone, the skin tone and things like that. But the fact that we had our own rights, rituals, and customs, that is what made us great. That is what made us superior towards the other nations. Like you could get into the fact of how we used, like all nations in general used to wear a breastplate. Their priests and things like that would wear a breastplate. But what was most significant about us rocking the breastplate was that what? We had the 12 stones in there that represented the 12 tribes. Okay? That's what signified, our priesthood during the times of when we were in the west coast of Africa. So there's a greatness about Jake that always makes us stand out. Like I can remember even just just being younger, and people would say, it's something about you. It's just something special, something that just stand out in things like, and people would say things like that, But we know that's now because what we had the light of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua within us. But in general, as a people, we shine, man. We shine brighter than any other people that's upon the face of the earth, period, man. And that's the glow of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua that's upon us that nobody can take from us ultimately, man. That made me want to go to, since obviously I might as well get to it. No, what I want to go to. Slocky. Damn, I lost my train of thought. That Leviticus 18. Yeah, Leviticus 18. Because this is what separated us, clearly. Right? Leviticus 18, let's start at verse 1. And it says, "And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, I am the Lord your power. After the doings of the land of Egypt, wherein ye dwelt, shall ye not do. And after the doings of the land of Canaan, whither I bring you, shall ye not do, neither shall ye walk in their ordinances. Ye shall do my judgments and keep my ordinances to walk therein. I am the Lord. I am the Lord your power." So the Lord told us distinctively that when we're amongst the other nations, we're not to follow their ways, go after, the things in which they do. Why? Because the Lord made us holy and sanctified unto himself. And that's the way that the Lord always wanted to keep it. If you had something that you created, or your children, obviously what you want them to go in a way in which You told them to go because you know ultimately what's best for them. You know ultimately what's best for them. Okay, so that's how it is. Okay, so, Satan, man. Yeah, so ultimately what's best for them, as I was saying. And that's the way it is with the Most High and us. He knows what's best for us, so he wants us to continue to walk in that proper light in which he set up for us, man, because it's only right. And then everything in which he set up for us is righteous anyway, because everything that pertains unto the law, and especially when you get into like tilling the land and things like that, the Lord has his ways to where what we would reap the fields and things like that for 6 years, let the land rest on the seventh year, to let the earth time to replenish itself. So everything about our law, statutes, commandments is benefit to our spirit, is benefit to our physical body, us mentally, everything on all aspects, man, so that we are them complete spiritual beings that the Most High want us to be, man. But the other nations, they don't have that, because all of their ways are just utterly ridiculous and completely ungodly, man. Just straight pagan. Okay, so where's we at? Yeah, just to get into a couple of these. Verse 6, none of you shall approach to any that is near of kin to him to uncover their nakedness. I am the Lord. The nakedness of thy father or the nakedness of thy mother shalt thou not uncover. She is thy mother. Thou shalt not uncover her nakedness. The nakedness of thy father's wife shalt thou not uncover. It is thy father's nakedness. The nakedness of thy sister, the daughter of thy father, the daughter of thy mother, whether she be born at home or born abroad, even their nakedness thou shalt not uncover. The nakedness of thy son's daughters, or even thy daughter's daughters, even their nakedness thou shalt not uncover, for theirs is thine own nakedness. So what gets into some of the things in which the other nations, they don't have no problem with doing. They don't see nothing wrong with that. Get into some other basic thing just besides that, right? um Verse 20, moreover, thou shalt not lie carnally with thy neighbor's wife to defile thyself with her, and thou shalt not let any of the seed of thy seed pass through the fire to Molech, neither shalt thou profane the name of the Lord of thy power. I am the Lord. Because what people were sacrificing their children. Okay, people were clearly sacrificing their children. Now with Abraham and Isaac did that as a sign of faith, but what the Most High stopped them. But the other nations, they don't have no problem with passing their kids through the fire, sacrificing their children to their pagan gods, so on and so forth. Which is not really doing them any justice. They just losing the child, but they believe opposite. So getting into these different type of things, this is what clearly makes that distinction between us. And we always go to Exodus 11:7, right? Now I'll read this real quick. But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that ye may know how the Lord doth put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel. Now we always, get into this scripture, but what does it mainly pertain to? Off the top, you would think skin texture or whatever, people would think, well, we're the same color and all that, but it's much deeper than that, because what our laws, statutes, and commandments that separates us from the Egyptians, the power in which we serve, the things in which we do, the high holy days in which we observe, the days in which they observe. It gets down to the nitty gritty with the customs and things like that, clearly shows that separation between you and another person, or you and another nation. Okay, and that's what it's all about at the end of the day. That's why we are that special and that holy royal people, consecrated unto the Lord. Meaning what? Separated, man. So, yeah, I just wanted to get into that and just speak on that real quickly. Because just so many people within this world just always want to lump us all together. Well, we share the same experiences. We all go through this. We all go through that. Yeah, because it's common life. But what? Our lives are completely different. If you're East Indian, your life is completely different than mine. If you're Edomite, your life is completely different from mine. And we go through different struggles based upon you other nations oppressing us on the daily, man. So, with that, I hope this segment was edifying, and I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, double oneness to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to Lekabdeh, doing this work of faith and labor of love and true sincerity. Shalom.